All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello. I don't think we have anyone from the US at this time,
Oh,
right?
hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. Good to see you. Good to hear you.
Hello, hello.
So today we will actually continue our part two about large language models, LLMs for teachers. So hello from Hania, hello from Israel, hello from Kenya. I see Ukraine, right? What other countries? So wonderful, wonderful to see you all. I hope you had amazing Christmas celebrations for those who celebrated, and you're ready for a New Year's partying this week. But we are not resting here. We are studying AI, implementing AI, and sharing our knowledge and what we discover with the community of teachers, with the community of higher education institutions. Again, this series of professional development workshops is part of the Impact project, our international ERASMUS Virtual Exchange project for collaborative online international learning. So we are very happy to collaborate with so many of you. So thank you very much for being here tonight, this afternoon, today. And we'll have some fun, I hope. I had a lot of fun preparing for this session. Um, I started sharing with you the documents and the games, the websites that deliver all kinds of presentations, slides, infographics, everything that AI helped me prepare to actually, make this a little bit easier for teachers, for educators to understand what LLMs actually are, different names, different models. Again, I shared with you this analogy to talking about cars. So if we think about a car, something really, really general, that's how many people use the word AI, right? We use this term to just refer to something that moves, that can take you from A to B, that has, I don't know, wheels and like a very general description of a car. But then there are different companies that produce different models of cars, right? And all of them have different kind of applications. Some of them are sports cars, some of them are family models and all that. So same with the rapidly developing AI world. It's really, really now overwhelming with all the different terms. And some of us are confused. Do we have to know all of this? And this will be my first question. Do you feel that you guys really have to have a very deep, detailed understanding of the world of AI? Again, here we can also think about the engine. So there are models of the cars or also models of engines, right? This is my husband's expertise. He deals with fixing engines for different car models, so he knows everything about that world. For me, it's still confusing. I don't really distinguish different models of cars, different company manufacturers, and all that. So I'm wondering whether teachers, educators need to actually know all the names and all the like how it works and all the technology behind AI, or do we just need to know how to drive, how to use these tools, right, to get from one point to another? So this is one metaphor that I include in my teacher's guide, and there will be some maybe other metaphors, but it's not a yes or no answer. I don't know. Maybe it's not the same as with cars because I feel that since I don't know, I don't know whether I can be ahead of my students. Should I be ahead of my students? Should I be sharing this knowledge? I have a lot of questions and let's discuss them today. So we already have almost 40 people on Zoom this last week of December. Okay, more than 40 already in just a few seconds. Great. So great audience. Thank you very much for being with us. We are very, very happy. And we will start with a game that will raise discussion questions and also check your what you remember from last week, actually, since we're doing part two on LLMs. Let's see what you remember from part one. And also, since all of you are educators, I assume I will be doing it with Kahoot, and I hope you're familiar with the tool. But if we have time today, I will also share behind the scenes how these types of educational activities, games, interactive lessons, because I actually created an interactive lesson with Kahoot. So my quiz questions are integrated. They have all kinds of also explanation slides in between, and also poll questions, so discussion questions. So this is an excellent tool. I've been using Kahoot myself in my teaching in higher education for over 15 years already. I love Kahoot. And at the end of this session, I will share how you can also use Kahoot in your teaching, and how AI can actually make this a very easy and enjoyable process to actually generate games and lessons like this. So I will show it also towards the end of this session today. But we'll now begin with our discussion of LLMs. I'm sharing the link to the Kahoot in the chat, and then I will share my screen. So we will be, okay, link to Kahoot goes now into the chat. So please find the chat. I bet we'll have 50 at least today, even though it's New Year's and people are celebrating and saying goodbye to. Oh, we have also, okay, in transit, Brazil, Chile. Wow, amazing. So we do have good morning also. Good morning to you then, right? It's like early morning in Brazil and Chile, I guess, right? So please join this link in the chat, Kahoot. I will also share my screen, and you might want to join the game from the QR code if you use a laptop and maybe you have another phone. If you're connected with one device, probably it's just easier for you to click on the link in the chat. I'll drop it again for those who are still joining us. Perfect. This is the link. Thank you. Thank you for joining from Kenya. Kenya is the same time zone as Israel, right? It's 4 p.m. right now. Also in Greece, in Athens, 4 p.m. In Europe, it's 3 p.m. Kiev is also 4, I think. Okay, so thank you for joining from all these different, amazing, interesting places around the world. I'll also maybe share sound. I don't know if you like Kahoot sound. Let me know if it bothers you. I can also turn it down. I bet they have Kahoot Christmas music right now. Let's put the Christmas music. Make it a little bit more festive. Okay, so lobby music. I will go from traditional to Christmas. Let's go. There I have Halloween, Christmas. And we'll take another 30 seconds. You see, while waiting, instead of just waiting for 10-15 minutes for everyone to join, we are so productive, and you guys are already inside and ready to rock. Share first the stone in this Kahoot. Okay, so the music now is Christmas. But I want to share another comment. So I don't know if you have been doing Kahoot with your students, just looking at your names, at these avatars. I just remembered how I've been using Kahoot lately. So one great use case, you can ask your students, instead of their name, to actually insert a new word, a new like term that they've learned during your lesson, or maybe insert like the way they feel right now about this topic, something like that. This could be one use case. And in the past few weeks, I've been talking to my students about citations. So they are using AI to generate their slides and presentations, but then I teach them to, do the cross-checking and reference check, and then provide real sources, or maybe even generate their whole presentations from real sources only without AI. So I taught them about in-text citations, and oh my God, believe it or not, this is totally my students' ideas. So I asked my students to share their last names as if I need to cite them. So instead of my students' first names, I got a list of citation. Like I wanted to make sure they know how to do it, how to format, to open the bracket, write the last name, comma, and the year of idea, right, 2025, and then close the bracket. So they all did this little exercise, like 30 seconds, all done. I corrected the mistakes. I told them where to add the space or capital letter. But then when we played Kahoot, we imagined instead of writing their name, they wrote their in-text citation last name. It was funny and also a great exercise, okay? So they learn, first of all, what citations are, how to do them, right? How to format them, how to write your last name with the year of publication. Also, they learning to actually cite real sources in their presentations, in their essays, and so on and so forth. Okay, 27 are connected. Let's begin. If anyone wants to join us here, we do have already more than 50 people. So for those who just joined, you can still connect with the link in the chat. And we will begin. The first question. And thank you for your wonderful emotions, and I see your reactions. Even though you're not talking, but you're reacting. So this is nice. Thank you. The first question is a poll question, and this is what I started with. Do you guys think that understanding how AI actually works is necessary to use it well? Do we need to understand how AI works in order to use it well, to use it correctly? And the options are no, we don't need to know how it works. It's enough to know how to drive the car, right? It's enough to know where to open this website and just click on the buttons. Maybe you're not sure, that's another option. Or maybe you can say yes, and you think it's good to know how it works, but maybe it's just enough to have some basics, some basic understanding, right? The last option in green is yes, and partial understanding is not enough. You do think that all teachers, regardless of their expertise, regardless of what they teach, they need to go and read an article, read a book, take the professional development course about AI and learn about it. Not just learn how to click buttons, but also understand how it works. We've got all of your responses, and the audience is split between yes, let's learn the basics, and yes, let's learn more than basics. Okay, so you'll get both. Those who need just basics, I'm sure you will get the basics in this semester with us. Next question. So this is about me developing teacher's guide to large language models. You'll have access to it, obviously. It's already on our Moodle on Impact. It's work in progress because AI generates work in seconds. Human beings, and I'm literally reviewing everything, rewriting things, tweaking the metaphor, like tweaking some things and making sure it's perfect. So it's still work in progress. So don't download it as a final document yet. I'll tell you, maybe next week it's going to be ready 100%. But again, it's ready up to 2025, which is going to be valid for the next 2-3 days. And then, things develop with AI. So let's explore those AI basics together. And this code will help us today. The first question is, what does LLM stand for? I've been using this over and over and over for several weeks. We started this, and I'm talking about some kind of teacher's LLM guide. What is this teacher LLM guide? What is the LLM? You have less than 30 seconds to respond. So what is LLM? Because we're using this abbreviation, this acronym intensively, and we will keep using it. So we need to make sure that everyone understands what it is. And also a little bit going in depth how it works. We'll talk about it also right now with this game. And it's described in my guide for teachers in very simple English, very, very simple words, not techy. All right, so everyone knows what LLMs stands for. Excellent, thank you. Thank you for your participation. The second question is, what is a key job of an LLM? Now let's try and understand what it is. What does it do actually? So this large language model, is it predicting the next word? Is it storing personal data? Is it understanding human emotions, facts, reasoning, verifying factual information? What does it actually do? How do they work, these large language models? And you have 5 seconds to respond. And I know some of you still need time to click on the response. And the right answer is, okay, interesting. Even though you all know what LLM means, you actually haven't answered correctly. All of you, I expected more correct answers. Okay, perfect. So let's check. Does LLM store personal data? Maybe, but is it its key job? Is this what it's been developed for? No, right? Large language models, they actually don't even verify factual information. That's the problem. We wish, right? Maybe next level, next generation LLMs will be by default and having their key job verification of factual information. This is not their key job. They're literally predicting machines, okay? I'll show you the definition of an LLM in the next slide. Let's see how it goes, since we also have a little competition here. So let me show you. So a large language model is like an awesome AI assistant, right? When you ask a question, it actually predicts the most likely helpful response. It doesn't verify facts automatically if you don't ask it to. And even if you do, it might do the work really well, like 100% accurate, and sometimes there are mistakes. So the actual definition of a large language model, LLM, is an AI system that has read and learned patterns of language from billions of text documents, including books, websites, articles, conversations. So it doesn't really understand the human sense, it doesn't read human emotion, but it's incredibly good at predicting what words should come next based on patterns. So it's all about, I don't know, statistics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, pattern prediction, and like knowing exactly what word to suggest based on the most likely probability. And there are all kinds of factors coming into play. So just by understanding this definition, how does it make you feel when you talk to ChatGPT and it gives you such confident, such intelligent, beautiful responses? You think, oh my gosh, I mean, it's even better than some of my human, friends and colleagues being responding to this. But it's really insane that literally what LLM does is predicting words and patterns. So you know this situation when you have a prompt and you ask one AI and another AI and you get different answers. So why does that happen? You only have 10 seconds. I know it's not enough time. Sorry for this setting back. So 5 seconds to respond. Why does that happen? They copy each other. They're programmed to always disagree. 3 seconds. They use different training data or they answer randomly. And even though you had very little time and some of you didn't have time to respond, that's understandable. Sorry, that was my mistake. But it's correct. You guys got it right this time. Different large language models, different engines, right? Different brains, AI brains, they actually use different training data, which means different, sets of text and input, and they have different values and architectures, meaning all kinds of features and, behind the things, algorithms. So it's not that they have to answer randomly. And it's not that they have to disagree with each other. Actually, sometimes you can give the same prompt to 5 or 10 different LLMs and receive an identical response. Believe it or not, we've actually did this experiment during our summer AI meetups, and it worked. There is a specific question that you share, and you get an identical response. Even with my teacher's guide to LLMs, with my prompt, right, which I gave to 10 different engines, 10 different platforms. DeepSeek surprisingly gave me the answer very similar to some other answers I received from other engines. So somehow, probably it's that they share some of the data, okay? The sources are similar. Maybe that's why. I don't know how to explain this. So you see, it's not 100% technical. I don't know all the answers to all of these interesting questions. So yes, not all LLMs are equal. Not all the answers are equal, and different LLMs give different answers to the same prompt. They are trained on unique data sets and rules, and this leads to different strengths like creativity and reasoning. There is a different temperature. The technical, the terminology for AI with LLMs, it's actually temperature. It's interesting that they use the word temperature to set up the percentage of creativity. You can actually go into your settings in any of these LLMs and ask AI to be more creative, higher temperature, or less creative, more restrictive, right? So it will only use the words that are 100% like probability that they should go together, right? The creative writing, the creative AI output would actually give the LLM more freedom to choose words a little bit more randomly. So there is this sparkle of creativity when you allow it. And different LLMs also have different features. Some of them have specific reasoning like a rainbow. You can choose, do you want deep reasoning? They have different modes like deep learning, deep research, thinking mode, or extended thinking mode. Okay, all kinds of features. So in addition to, the car and engine and model and all of that, you also have within the same model and engine, you have lots of features and add-ons, right? You can add and play around. So it is confusing. So let's discuss the word token. It's a terminology word that is used with AI very often. You do have a lot of options to choose from, but you also have enough time to read through the options. What is a token? Is it a model version? Is it a user prompt? Is it a data file? Is it a chunk of text? Is it a full sentence or a programming code? And you have now 10 seconds to decide. There is only one correct answer and 5 incorrect options. And only 7 of you know what a token is. A token is a piece of text. It's a combination of characters. It's not even a full word. And let me show you, it's in my guide as well. The word token is used a lot when you talk about AI, so it's good for all teachers and students to know what that means. This is how you're charged for your use of AI. So think of tokens as chunks of text, right? For an AI to process those chunks. A token is roughly not even 100% of a word. It's part of a word, but it's not necessarily the root of the word. It can be prefix plus the root, or it's a kind of, partial piece of word. And yeah, context limits are measured in tokens. It means that this is, how AI calculates how much to charge their users based on the amount of tokens that you generate or input or output. Okay. The next question is, which platform connects to multiple LLMs? You have some options. Which platform connects multiple LLMs for research, specifically for research? Which platform connects multiple brains, multiple AI large language models for research? 2 seconds. Excellent. Those of you who are familiar with Perplexity, you know that Perplexity is a good starting point for not for serious academic research, but yes, for like student level, undergraduate level, it's perfect. In even day-to-day level, even when my kids need to find out a more reliable answer to their question rather than just ask AI and get a random response from ChatGPT, especially when it comes to free ChatGPT. Perplexity does a similar thing. It actually generates AI response, but at least each sentence that it generates has a source. So you can actually check the sources. So it's more reliable in terms of research. Now, Perplexity uses not only its own LLM, Perplexity does have its own brain called Sonnet, but the company is famous for using also a long list of other brains. And the great thing about Perplexity is that you don't have to choose yourself. You don't have to say, okay, I need to choose with ChatGPT, or it kind of makes this decision for you. It decides which LLM to direct your prompt to, and then they can use either ChatGPT or Claude or Llama or something else. And this is why Perplexity is very, very powerful. We have a very strong competition here. Okay, so as I said last week, we discussed the AI ecosystem, right? AI terminology ecosystem, like building blocks. So, and I mentioned that it is confusing you can easily get lost with all the different names and terms. And when it comes to names, I decided for myself, and that's what I asked AI to help me with, to frame it and include all the different examples. So I decided for myself that for me to not to get lost with all the different names and terms. And when I have a very clear distinction between all the companies and labs that actually generate and improve their large language models, and then I need a list of all the platforms, all the different apps that actually people refer to, right? When we say I go to Claude, Claude is the name of the platform, or Gemini is the name of the platform. But the company that created it is a different name. So I also want to know who created who. And then inside each platform, we get exposed to lots of different models, right? So each platform has a long list of sub models. Plus, each platform also has additional features, as I said, right? Some offer you deep research option, and others call it extended thinking. For example, in ChatGPT, we have thinking that can be activated. You can deactivate thinking. Okay, you can ask AI and get a fast response with no thinking. When you activate thinking, the response takes longer. And when you want your answer to be more academic, right, more reliable, more accurate, you can even activate extended thinking. And then this is a big disadvantage of ChatGPT. It can think for a really, really long time. It can take 15 minutes, 20 minutes to think, to do this deep research analysis. And sometimes connection gets lost. I don't know, on very strong Wi-Fi. I don't know why that happens, but yeah. All of these different features are very interesting. So you will, while reading the guide, you will see a very clear distinction. So when looking at these four names, right? Company, feature, platform, and model now, which one is the engine? What can you call an engine? So when it comes to the metaphor that I presented with the car, right? So 5 seconds. If you don't know, just guess. 1 second. Okay, excellent guess. Most of you guessed it right. So when it comes to, again, to the comparison with the car analogy, right? Different AI models are like different engines, right? They have this special name and title. And then the company name and the platform would be the name of the car, actually, right? So the platform equals the name of the car. And then the car with the same name can have several different models and engines, right, inside. So it's like kind of two metaphors because let's move on to some actual fact-checking questions. Which company builds the GPT family? And I introduced this, actually, it's not me, it's AI introduced this term to me. So the model there's not just one model, there is a whole family under the same name. So when it comes to GPT family, who develops GPT models? OpenAI, everyone knows that. Perfect, guys. You already know the basics. That's great. What about LLM family from Google? What is the LLM family from Google? We have Claude family, we had GPT family, we have Llama family, and Gemini. And I think everyone responded. And I guess everyone will be right because it's well known that it used to be called Bard, right? I hope you already forget that old name because they have rebranded a while ago and now it's Gemini. Llama, not many people actually, not many teachers know about Llama. Llama is an open source AI owned by Meta. Okay, so the company name would be Meta. Meta owns Llama, and Llama is the AI, literally AI brain or engine that anyone can go find on the internet and download into their own PC or laptop or whatever and use it on device offline, right, off the grid. So it's very, very secure. You just need a very powerful computer with a lot of memory and space. Claude's family belongs to Anthropic company. Do we have a question in the chat?
No, there's no questions in the chat.
Okay, excellent. So which company offers the Claude LLM family? I just said that. Three seconds. And I believe most of you will be correct. Okay, maybe it's a little bit less known, but yes, Claude is owned by Anthropic, and Claude is very, very powerful. Very often, when it comes to comparing between different LLMs, like I did last week, I took the same prompt and inserted it in ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and many others, like Grook and Notebook LM and DeepSeek and other LLMs. Number one, Number one, if you remember, it was actually Claude by Anthropic. It was the best, far, like by far, the best output, the best deliverables. I asked these different LLMs to generate a PDF file, a fully developed guide for teachers, which I'm now editing extensively because I want it to be perfect. But believe it or not, Claude actually generated a version. I think it's 90% close to my standards that I can release. Okay, I'm just going over little tiny adjustments, maybe formatting, maybe a little bit of even content, but it's very, very close. 90% ready, PDF ready guide. It's incredible. I'm just really fine-tuning it and tweaking it a little bit to make it perfect, again, to my standards. But Claude really outperformed everyone else, including OpenAI. I pay for my ChatGPT, and Claude was better. And including paid Gemini, because I compared Gemini Pro, Gemini education, and Gemini free accounts. Actually, Pro gave me the worst result. It didn't even follow the prompt. Okay, Gemini free and education was much better than Gemini Pro. But it might be just an off, I'll do it again, I'll get different results. It's just what happened last week in that particular instance. So I don't rely on it as like reliable, consistent information. Which platform uses multiple LLMs for research? I think we already answered that question, right? And I'm sorry it appeared again, and you will see why it happened because I will show you how I created
However,
it.
there is a question from Benson or Loya, in the chat. I have been using Poe, and he's asking where does it belong?
So Poe is not a large language model. Poe is the name of the platform. It's the name of an app, and Poe allows you to create custom chatbots. And then your part of the creation process is actually choosing which LLM, which AI you want the chatbot to correspond through, right? So do you want your bot to rely on ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Llama or others? So Poe is the platform. It's not, I don't know if it's also the company name, maybe, but it's not large language model, right? It's just the name of the platform.
However, I would like to add that,
Yeah,
based on what do you want, different LLMs are doing some things better than the other. So always try to combine. Always try to combine. ChatGPT is very good in the responses. I'm talking about the paid things. For example, Gemini provides better images than the ChatGPT, in my opinion. So, try to combine things. I think that this is the rule of thumb. Try to combine and identify the strong points of each one of them.
I agree. I agree with you, Costas. Okay, my next question is about an aggregator. So maybe, it's a good question about Poe, and Perplexity appeared again as an example of a platform that uses a lot of different LLMs. So we call those platforms, actually, there is a term for this, an aggregator platform, right? Aggregator or orchestrator, there is another word that is often used about AI orchestrating different LLMs, right? So an aggregator is a platform that uses other companies' AIs, right? It may, like in terms of Perplexity, it says that it's a great example of an aggregator because it has access to many different LLMs, but Perplexity also has its own AI, its own LLM. It's called Sonnet, which is Perplexity's own LLM, but they also use others, and they act as a universal remote, right, for different models. So it's an access place where you access different LLMs, and there are different examples of these aggregators. Now, looking at the screen, well, you don't have an example you have an example of an aggregator platform here, actually. I'm just gonna check. Do we have anyone from the US? Because we have this term.
I don't think so that we have anyone from the
Family
US.
Education Rights and Privacy Act, because it's a US federal law protecting
Yeah, we
student
don't have
education
anyone from
privacy term, FAIR Part compliant. Okay. So we have, some of you guys know the platform Boodlebox, and they are located in the United States. And FERPA stands for, again, I'll explain, it's Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It's a US federal law protecting student education record privacy. So in the United States, we have this company, Boodlebox, that is an aggregator. It's a name of the platform, similar to POE, for example, right? It's also name of the aggregator. And there are others similar, like Perplexity and let's say u.com is another aggregator. So they have access to multiple LLMs. So Boodlebox is FERPA compliant, and that's why it's widely used in the United States in a higher education setting. A lot of universities actually adopt Boodlebox as their AI tool for the faculty and students because of the compliance of the student privacy data. And maybe you haven't even heard about the tool. We will have a session about it coming up next, but it's a very interesting tool to discover. Okay, let's move on. It's a poll question now. There are no correct or wrong answers. We are now interested in your opinion, in your previous experience. Have you tried using these tools with your students? And if you haven't done anything with your students directly, you can use none as an option.
There is a question also from Raymond if Elicit AI is an engine of perplexity. So I don't think I
No, I
don't
think
think so.
it's
I
a,
think
it's
it's
a
an
different company.
aggregator that
Yeah,
uses different elements. This is what did I ask.
it's a different company. It's a different platform. They have access to Perplexity, perhaps, or other providers of large language
And
models.
here, regarding this question, I think that, all of us as a teacher, we need to try all of them. So, for
Yeah.
example, Notebook LM, it has a function that I would like, Elena in the future also to present,
Yes.
that gives amazing things that the others, they cannot do it. I mean, but of course, this depends on your preferences. Other
Yeah.
people, we are different styles, different, it's like, how do we teach? All of us, we teach differently. So I
A
think,
lot of you have used ChatGPT with your students, which is great because it's a
yeah,
very
you can
well-known.
use all of them.
Yeah. Boodlebox has never been used in most cases. I've been using Boodlebox. I've been experimenting with this tool. It's also, again, because it has compliance with educational privacy of student data. And because it's an aggregator through Boodlebox and similar platforms, you get access to all of these different LLMs, which is really powerful. So we'll definitely show you how it works. A Notebook LM, on the other hand, is not a LLM, right? You know that it's part of Google's development. So it's not, I don't know if it works on Gemini or something additional that they have developed specifically for Notebook LM, but
It works with Gemini.
it belongs to
And yeah,
Google.
yeah. And if you buy the plus, you can go from 50 documents to 100. So it gives, a lot
Yeah.
of
300 actually. I think the Pro,
100, depends, I
yeah,
think, on the package that you are
the
going.
package, right? So how do you choose, right? Again, for general tasks, going to ChatGPT or Claude or like any other LLM is a good choice. I use personally both of them almost on a daily basis. But what we want to suggest, both Costas and I, we do believe, we do try to encourage you to actually expand your toolkit and try other new platforms. And in addition to just trying a new AI tool, always go and check what it gives you when you check with deep thinking, because there are different modes inside the same tool, as I said, right? There is fast, there is everyday, there is like autopilot, it decides, but you always have this kind of drop-down menu where you can actually manipulate the settings. So I do recommend that you, since we're in academia, right, and we want more reliable responses, I don't mind if it takes longer for AI to actually process information, find the articles, read them, summarize, whatever. It takes longer, right? So this deep thinking feature in most of LLMs, it's costly, but it's a better output. And then for student data, we'll explore Boodlebox next in the next sessions. Now, what should teachers always do with the LLM outputs. Let's say you've used AI, you've got the answer. What should you do now? You have 15 seconds, you have 1 minute to respond. Give me a or like it doesn't have to be a sentence, just a word or a verb.
So in the Middle Time, since we have a very excellent scientist, Greek scientist that lives in Jerusalem, Heraclea, he made a comment. So, reflecting to the comments of Heraclea, I will say, Heraclea, I think that, AI right now gives us the example how learning learns. This is, what, I'm closer, to the brain. You made a comment of the brain, so you are expert on this, but I will simulate LLMs, how learning learns. I think that this is my reflection on your comment.
And those of you who joined us a little later and you want to connect with the Kahoot, you can still try and use this link. I think it's possible to connect. Okay, so let's see your results. You're trying to edit. Let me remove the drawings on the screen. Okay, I have. And now we've received very interesting answers. So what do teachers do when they receive an LLM response, right? You need to edit them. You need to check them. Check with references, check and confirm. You do nothing or everything, whatever that means. Read and digest, read and validate is even better, okay? Evaluate, read, critical thinking, checking, fact checking, right? Verify, evaluate, rewrite. That's another great tip. That's what I'm doing with the guide. I received a wonderful guide, but I'm rewriting it, checking it, verifying, yeah, validating, also making sure. And since I've given the same prompt to 10 different LLMs or more, I don't remember, I'm now also comparing their outputs, and I've used the highest, the most premium feature for each one of them to get the best results. Now what I'm doing, I'm checking, validating, comparing, reading carefully, and also fine tuning, adding some things that each one of them suggested something tiny which is different from others. So I'm putting it all in one version, in one final product, and rewriting myself some of the stuff. So have you ever caught AI giving you wrong information? Let's check this. You have 30 seconds to respond. It's a poll question. There are no correct or wrong answers. So have you ever actually caught AI giving you wrong information? Sometimes, not sure, maybe, you don't know. You can say no, never. It's always been accurate with me and all the time. I hope no one is experiencing the red all the time, fake and incorrect. We wouldn't be that excited about AI if it was that bad, right? Hopefully. So let's see. Almost everyone responded, almost 30 responses in the Kahoot. And some of you are just observing, that's fine too. Sometimes. And so some of you get wrong responses. Oh my God, you're using the wrong AI perhaps. Try and move on to another platform. Even DeepSeek is not that bad, and DeepSeek is open source. They don't even have a premium version. You just use it's the best out there available for all. So try it. Even though it's Chinese, so it's not extremely careful with what you share with the model, but it's very, very powerful. Okay, sometimes I guess all of us have experienced some kind of hallucinations, right? So there is a name for it. So why do you think LLMs make up facts? Why do you think this happens? Because they access fake databases, because they copy from unreliable sites, because they are programmed to read news, or because they guess based on patterns? 5 seconds to decide. And you already know the right answer because we discussed it at the beginning and you got it right, okay? The main job, right? The main function of an LLM is to guess, to predict the next word. It's not really thinking or reasoning or doing all that. So they don't really copy from unreliable sites. They're not supposed to copy. They are trained on different data, and then they generate new text based, and then, and the text is generated based on prediction and statistics. Okay. And Pop, you're leading far away. So watch out for these hallucinations. Large language models can state false information with total confidence. That's the worst part, when you feel it's so confident, Not only that, it provides you with in-text citations. Literally yesterday, my students at Western Galway College generated slides for their project with Gamma, and each slide had an in-text citation saying, okay, this comes from this report and this comes from that website this year. Like, it looks so credible, so confident. But I'm sure if we really go and check that website, it doesn't exist. And if we check that report, the numbers will not match 100% because the presentation included a lot of numbers like financial reports, number of employees of different companies. So I'm sure that we will find discrepancies, but it sounds confident. It provides bibliography and references. We need to remember that AI machines, right? Large language models are pattern matchers. They're not fact checkers. They don't check information for us. This is our job. So always verify important information from another source. So let's see. Another little topic, subtopic presented in the guide, what affects the quality of LLM responses. And we did have a session about this presented by Costas a few weeks ago. I hope you attended it and you remember it. So what affects the quality of LLM responses? Is it the company name? No, nobody chose that. Okay, perfect. Prompt quality. It's all about your prompt. The same LLM can give terrible response to one person because your prompt probably wasn't that good. You have to take into consideration how you talk to AI. There are strategies. So what is the key tip for using LLMs effectively? This one's easy. Be specific, right? Be very, very specific. Give it a lot of context. And here is another tip, right? Summary, be clear, be specific with your instructions, provide context of what you need. So if you don't like the results, try rephrasing, improving your prompt. My prompts are normally, good prompts are at least 2-3 pages. True or false? AI is like a confident intern, fast, eager, and sometimes completely wrong. What do you say? Do you agree or disagree? It is fast, it is eager, enthusiastic. It really, this energy, this fun and vibe talking to your AI, you have, like, it really ignites human creativity, and it is true, right? It's just sometimes it's completely wrong, and we have to be careful and cautious about it. That's a responsible use of AI. Okay, double points. Which platform integrates with Microsoft 365? Now, a little bit of checking what you know about different brands, different names of the companies and tools. Let's see. What works inside Microsoft? You have 7 seconds, and almost everyone responded. And my bet is you will be right. Most of you will know that. And I was right as well. You know the answer, Copilot is Microsoft's AI engine. It's not by the way, it's not an LLM, right? We discussed that too. It's actually using ChatGPT, OpenAI's LLM. Which platform is best for research with real citations? Here we have 3 aggregator examples, 10 seconds to choose. So u.com is an aggregator. It's just access to many different LLMs. Boodlebox is an aggregator. DeepSeek is an LLM, Chinese, and Perplexity is actually providing you real citations. Perfect. We're almost done. Which LLM is known for real-time info and X integration? My students introduced me to it a few semesters ago, actually. And it is sometimes outperforming OpenAI and Gemini, believe it or not, in different tests, in different reports, in different articles I'm reading about AI. So X in real-time info, it's Grok, correct. So Grok, it's Elon Musk's, right? X, former Twitter company. So Grok is their own LLM, which is really, really powerful. So to sum it up, final thoughts, AI tools are here to support you, the teachers, your expertise, your judgment, your connection with your students. Makes actually the difference. It makes all the difference, and hopefully you will have fun exploring different LLMs and supporting your students. I have one final slide for you, and you have 1 minute to respond. What else would you like to learn about LLMs? So please respond. You can actually write a sentence now, and I'm really, really curious to see what kind of questions you have about LLMs. Please think and write your answer. You still have a minute plus, even 70 seconds. And I got already 4 answers. Very interesting.
And also regarding the evaluate, the check that the participants has responded, this is like something that governs not only the AI and how do we use AI, but governs from the ancient years how to looking for the truth. So in order to looking for the truth, always you check, you evaluate, and you come back. So the evaluation and the checking and the valorization and validation is something that comes from all civilizations. And it's like Harari in his book, the last one, describes this very well. And it's a principle of democracy as well. So using AI in a correct way, somehow you're using AI in a correct way to support democracy and not use AI in order to support, other things.
So when it comes to us learning AI and also maybe mentioning it when we work with students, I think it's important for us always to remind our students to question AI, right?
Of
To
course.
be also suspicious.
As a
Students,
professor, I mean, in the classroom, you need to
unfortunately,
ask you need
yeah,
to challenge your professor as
challenge
well.
and doubt and not to trust 100% because students they don't trust AI. Okay, so let's see future trends. You want to know future trends about data privacy? Great. We have a session about data privacy. I actually have a very nice link for you on Impact. I will share soon. It takes you to many different, these terms and conditions, those actual terms and conditions of each tool. They are like nobody reads them, right? And they're like very important data privacy information there. So you can actually go and check and compare different tools. There is a comparison table that was shared by one of the professors in the United States. There are lots and lots of free, interesting resources that people are sharing around the world when it comes to AI in education. And I'm collecting all this gold, and I will share with you in the Impact website as well, because this is our goal to share with the community of teachers all these finds. So what tasks are better for AI? Great question. Video generation, how to generate video. I can answer quickly. You can just go to Notebook LM. Notebook LM is amazing. Just give it an article, give it a topic. You can go and ask it to search, like do deep research on a topic of your choice, and then it will generate excellent sources for you. And then you have a button, generate video. Just click on that button, you will get an amazing video about the topic of your choice ready. How to use them to, and then you went out of words. I don't know what you meant. Is Perplexity free? Yes. There is also a Perplexity Premium Pro version. All you need to access Perplexity Pro for 1 year for free is if you have a PayPal account that you can connect. Just Google it, Perplexity PayPal subscription offer. You will get 12 months, 1 year of free Perplexity without any payment. How often do they UPG? What's that? Do's and don'ts. Okay, benchmarking, improving prompts, how to use. Okay, actual examples of prompts. We will be giving you actual examples of prompts. The best LLMs to us. Again, there is no such thing as the best LLM. We have, even for all of us, we have different needs, different lesson parts. So it's hard to say which one is best, right? You
How,
have to
how,
explore yourself. Yeah.
However, Elena, the university and the institutions, they use a specific LLM. So, I mean, this is a suggestion to use the institutional LLM. And, there are universities like Humboldt in Berlin that they develop their own LLM, for cybersecurity reasons and for biasing reasons. So, I mean, the big universities like Humboldt, I'm pretty sure, probably Oxford and Cambridge, they are doing the same, and the big US universities, they are developing their own LLM for cybersecurity and biasing reasons.
So Olha, I guess you're from Ukraine, right? Number 3, we have the snake, which is, I don't know, an NPAP, interesting names.
Snake, it was me, but I lost by NPAP. I think it's
Really?
Nikos Papadakis,
I
the
was
Greek.
going to
This
complain
is
to you,
Greek.
wasn't.
I was testing, I know when one lost that I heard that.
So who is NPAP? Ah, I know who NPAP means. It's the person we emailed each other. It's
Nikos Papadakis. He's a
Nicholas,
Greek guy,
right? Yes,
from
yes,
HMU.
yes.
I think he's
Okay.
a
So
professor
you
in
can't
IT.
hide behind your nickname. We know who you are. Okay,
No,
great.
in basketball, they were calling me that. That's why I selected.
Okay, so I've hidden the music as well. Great. So now we have 5 minutes before the promised end of the session. We will always end on time. I want to quickly share the behind the scenes for creating Kahoots, like the one that we just did, because I think I use Kahoots almost every week with my students. The students love them. I hope you also enjoyed. I don't know, give me some reactions if you liked it or not, because it's really making a learning process interactive. You can go back and forth between actually presenting material, right, delivering your content, and checking the temperature of your audience, checking what they already know. This is exactly what you also need to do with students. You can't assume they don't know anything or that they know something. Maybe they don't. So always ask them through the game. It's fun. And you can ask poll questions, you can ask real quiz questions that have correct answers or several correct answers. Plus, as you noticed, I had slides in between after each quiz question. I had a slide that explained the term, presented the definition, or presented another example. Yes, the recent update of Kahoot is that they require subscription. In the past, it was free. Like I used it for 10 years for free. Now it's not free anymore, unfortunately. But those of you who have a subscription to Kahoot, and some of you do, and you don't even know that Kahoot has upgraded and added AI features. So the way I created this Kahoot was by clicking on the word create. And when you click on create, you have the option to go for 2 AI assisted Kahoot generating features. So you can also even import your slides and create a Kahoot based on your slides, but I use the PDF AI assisted generating of Kahoot. So what I did, I clicked on this and then I uploaded the file, the PDF file of this teacher guide to LLMs that I created. Okay, so my teacher guide PDF file has 10 pages of information, of examples, and everything we discussed now in the Kahoot. So I just uploaded it, and then what's nice about it, let me show you briefly maybe how to upload. Let me just show you quickly. Yeah, Wayground is another great platform that is replacing Kahoot. I also use a Wayground for sure instead of Kahoot. So before I got my subscription back, I had to switch completely to Wayground. Now I go back and forth. I use a Kahoot and so Teacher's Guide. So this is my current edition. It's edited by me because I'm rewriting it. As I said, it was generated by Claude and other LLMs, and I'm editing it extensively. So I'll just upload it here to show you one more thing. So once the guide is inside your Kahoot, or once the article in the Kahoot or the presentation, you can just click on generate. Even if there are no questions inside, you can ask Kahoot to extract questions for you. So you can click extract like this. Now another thing that is happening right now, you see we are now inside the question extractor experience, but you can also click on this drop down thing, and instead of click extract questions, you can generate a micro lesson. So this micro lesson is a new feature in Kahoot. It actually this feature that generates additional slides with the information, with content, with your content from your documents, from your lecture notes or your presentation slides. So this is how you can generate new slides. So I can just go ahead and refresh. Let's go and ask for the guide to be generated. And look what happens. Teacher's guide to large language models, learn how to navigate LLMs, what's an LLM, how to do tokens relate to LLMs, why do LLMs sometimes make mistakes, which is a company building AI. We see this question needs editing. So some slides are great. I can just leave them. This slide is terrible. What do you mean by which is a company building AI? It's a terrible question. I will definitely change it. What is a platform in LLM terms, right? What does the model version mean? Why do different LLMs give different answers? Which factor affects LLM answer most? Training data, screen size, or user location. You see, it's like it generates a full lesson for you with the different slides in between that explain the right answer. And it's almost 20. So I can just go and add all and done. And then I will go into edit. I can generate more. Now I'm in the Kahoot almost ready draft setting. And then I can add or generate additional questions, additional slides. I can add another document to it and then generate additional slides for my Kahoot. So it's really, really powerful. If you haven't tried it yet, this is the time. Try to generate questions if you have a subscription, of course, because yeah, it's not free anymore, unfortunately.
I
What I
mean,
can do once this is ready, I will share the link to this Kahoot with everyone. Access to my link is free, so you will be able to access it and just go through the slides and answer the questions on your own. It's called assign a synchronous task. So Kahoot is very powerful for that too. So I'll save this as a draft because it's nice. Have some additional slides. And next time I will show you more tools. We have a lot of tools on the menu, a lot of different tools.
however, we need to be careful. What did you say? It's very important because you generate something in a generator of AI generated document because your AI teacher manual is AI generated. So you fuel an AI generated product to AI generated, presentation. So we need to be very careful, on what you have done. Check each one of the transparencies for coherence and for if it's correct. Because if you are wrong in front of your students,
This
I'm
will be
not going to I'm not going to name I'm not going to pronounce the verb, but you understand what I would like to say.
yeah.
Okay.
It's you don't
And
wanna
also there is a question, is a question from Hariklia. Very important question for all the teachers. As a teacher, what is the impact on IQ development? Do you feel AI? I lost it.
for students.
Uh, AI for students. I will say, Hariklia, that if you use AI critically, I think that helps your intelligence because they used to say that we have intelligence, but now we used to say intelligence has us. So you can think how cells, they develop without a brain by themselves. So learning how to learn. So this is like, I would say that, teachers and students, if we use in a critical way AI think that we improve our intelligence and for sure our efficiency. But our intelligence is more important than efficiency. If you have, I think that you can improve your efficiency if you have intelligence.
Remember, we had this discussion, Costas and Samia, during the summer meetups also, whether AI
I
makes us
repeat, yeah.
smarter or dumber. And
But
that
yeah,
was the
yeah. It's
question.
like
And
the
then
egg
we
and the chicken.
a lot of different
So
arguments
yeah,
for and against, and like
uh,
it depends how you use it, right? It doesn't make us smarter or dumber. It's like a
yeah,
tool,
yeah.
like a car. It doesn't make us more like
It depends on how to use it
or
because you
not.
can become
Yeah,
dumber.
it's just
If you
Very
use it
dumber, very,
critically,
very dumber. Your
yeah,
brain, if
very,
you're
very
a little
dumber.
kid, if you're
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
kid, your brain, the part of the brain that controls, not controls, but develops and sends messages to different parts, like the emotive part, for example, of the brain. It's a very important concept to keep in mind. Medically speaking, you can see certain parts of the brain, and this study has not been validated, but I read it. In other words, I need to read another study. There's a part of our brain that controls our emotions, okay? If you have AI responses all the time, which in my opinion do not include although we say empathy and things of that sort, or really teach you how to question yourself and the way you think, that part of the brain doesn't develop as much. So please just keep that generally speaking. I love AI. I use it in my medical practice. I use it in my teaching, but we need to have boundaries on what we expect from our students.
I think, Hariklia, we need to question ourselves continuously. As you know, any electronic system is doing feedback in order to correct feedback, in order to correct the output. This is the principle.
Electronic systems.
Yeah,
Excellent.
everything is like this, laser, electron. Yeah, this is the system.
Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you so
Just
much.
a moment, because I would like to inform the people that if you go to the Impact YouTube channel, you will see the inventors of the Kahoot to present the tool. I don't know if they present all the details, but last year we had these tech seminars, and you can go to YouTube channel of Impact. If you don't have an access, email me or Elena to show you the link how the inventors of Kahoot present the tool. All right. Happy New Year, and speak to you next Monday, no?
Thank you. Yes.
Bye.
See you in 2026. Bye-bye.
Next year.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.